John 14, I want to bring a few thoughts about the Father's house. Will you turn to your neighbor and say, do you know God plays favorites? And will you turn to the other neighbor and say, I'm God's favorite? You know, of course, I'm God's favorite. And someone said, hard to believe, but if you are confessing it, I'll accept it. Okay. I am God's favorite. God plays favorites. Thank you. God plays favorites. Just the way you do best for your family, and it would be quite abnormal for you to do better for the next door neighbor, God does best for His family, and you are a part of God's family. So He does His best. God has this problem that He cannot do anything but the best. You don't get into that problem by trying to do the best all the time, because you're not God. Tell yourself you're not God. So you're bound to leave some gaps, and better agree to that. If you try to do 100% all the time, you'll imagine you do 100%. When you're not doing, you'll be impossible to live with, isn't it? We err, we fail, but we have a Father who never fails. And we have a Father's house, and the hope is held out, which is a perfect Father's house. Nothing ever goes wrong in that house. That is in heaven. So if you are looking for a church on earth which does everything so well, you need immediately a promotion to glory and a flag hanging RIP. There's only one perfect house, which is a Father's house. So we have to bear with each other till we go there, knowing that there is a perfect house. So that thought is encouraging. God plays favorites. Till then, we would like to live like God's favorites. It makes a big difference, isn't it? Anybody had a brother? Anyone having a brother? Or sister for that matter? What happens to your face when you think of your brother? Let me watch your face closely. Now, Jesus Christ wants to become our elder brother, perfect brother. And He's going to come into our life and lead us into His ways, because He's the perfect brother, the best brother to have. I have this great joy these days that my brother is sending me daily SMS on his daily devotionals. First time he sent it, I was quite surprised. And his first daily devotional he sent me was a long SMS. People treat God like a lawyer. When in trouble, people retain a lawyer. When in trouble, people retain God. And then in the trouble, they want God to act like the Father. They have denied the Father all their life. But in trouble, they retain God like lawyer and expect Him to act like Father. And of course, God does the part. He immediately becomes Father to those who never called Him Father. Will you say amen to that? Amazing, isn't it? Immediately He is available. Then He continues saying, this is the folly of man. After the deed is done, favor obtained without returning the favor, they disappear. And then again in trouble, they retain the lawyer. Of course, the Father in heaven. And again the Father in heaven does well again. He never says, where did you disappear? I will wait, keep you in the gray zone, keep you in the waiting zone. God doesn't do that, isn't it? We would, God doesn't. Again then my brother says, this is the folly of man. And this has been my folly too. Thank God for Jesus. John 14. That He does not keep us in His waiting zone. The child who errs or offends depends on the mercy of parents to recover his lost composure, belonging, security, acceptance and self-worth. In fact, the meaning of his existence. While he is howling and protesting and acts tough, he is waiting for a hug. Anyone having little fellows under the age of 6.5? Anyone had little fellows under the age of 6.5 about the time of the Second World War? Yeah. You remember they are tough. They say no more than yes, and they want to do their own thing. And of course they are waiting only for a hug, and then they melt immediately. Denied recovery fast, the little child will lapse into many unhealthy, destructive moods and thoughts of unworthiness and unwantedness. So the wise earthly father and mother offers the child recovery sooner or later. Soon. You don't allow that child's alienation to last. You quickly welcome the child back to fellowship. Now child is protesting, I'm not coming, I'm going into the aunt's house, I'll never be in this house again. All kinds of big talk. But child is waiting to, waiting for the hug. So parent, offer recovery fast. Offer recovery soon. Offer recovery soon. Then lay down your terms, but offer recovery soon. Make the way open soon. And then when he approaches you, tell him, this is how it happened, but make the way open soon. Yes. Offer recovery soon. Mistakes are never to be punished. Mistakes are mistakes. They break a cup. The china coming from your great-grandfather's time. No punishment. Mistakes are never to be punished. Mistakes are never to be punished. Rebellion you have to deal with. Mistakes are mistakes. Sometimes child starts out in a rebellion. Child does something the child never meant to do. Not to be punished. God works like that. Reference to past error and threat against future misdemeanor are both counterproductive. It becomes a prophecy. Next time you do this. You already prophesied he is going to do it. Can you understand? Give me a wave if you understand. Next time you do this. I don't think many of you don't have someone whom we can say this to. You are hoping you had. Because our children are beyond the age of saying, next time you do this. Once upon a time we did it when we did not know. So don't give prophecies of expected failure. It's an incriminating, reliving a past thing, projecting into the future. You're like this. God is not like that. Correct him now constructively. And when the parent errs of offense, falls, degrades himself, whatever, God the parent always offers quick recovery. Quick recovery. John 14. Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. These are days our hearts will be troubled, isn't it? There's thick snow in Georgia. At least 100 to 120 have died over the last few months because of snow trouble. And there are apocalyptic floods in London. Let not your hearts be troubled. Sri Lanka is serendipity as usual, of course. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house, this is the comfort Jesus is offering. Whatever the trouble is, financial, betrayal, your failure, things others don't know that you fail at, whatever the trouble is, injustice, wicked flourishing, and your tendency to fret. You trying to remove the tares when the Father has said, let the wheat and tares grow together till the end. When the Father has said that in the wheat and tares parable, don't try to remove tares. It will only hurt you. Wait for the Father's time. What is your trouble that is uppermost in your mind this morning? Ultimate comfort is the Father's house. In my Father's house. Will you say it with me? In my Father's house are many rooms. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. If I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself, that where I am, there you may be also. Our ultimate comfort is the Father's house. Father's house is eternal and temporally in transit. That's what you are. Understood? Father's house is eternal, and Father's house is what we make of it as family members, God's children and brothers and sisters of one another. So here is the Father's house. So for comfort in trouble, we come to the Father's house. But each Father's house is as good as we make it. Correct? How good is the meatball curry you make? It is as good as the meatballs, isn't it? So you are the meatball. This Sunday celebration is the curry. Taste and see how the meatballs have done at the end of a Sunday meeting. So when Jesus says, let not your heart be troubled, in my Father's house are many rooms, we take great comfort from the Father's house that is coming, the perfect one where we will be. And every night we go to sleep in the Spirit. If you prepare it, you have a visit from heaven, and you are taken for a spiritual rest, and God breathes on you. You wake up in the morning feeling different. Father's good pleasure. He gives His beloved sleep. Psalm 4. It's a sleep of rest, sleep of comfort, sleep of refreshing. You bury the hatchet. You don't have to wait till Valentine's Day to bury the hatchet, isn't it? Yesterday people gave each other 224 million roses. $1.8 billion wasted on sacrificed on roses. 6.3 billion chocolates, heart-shaped. You don't have to wait till then. Every night you go to sleep, you wake up in the morning, having had a visit to the Father's house, having had a visit from the Father's house. This is so real. God gives His beloved rest. While we have this picture of our Father's house in heaven, we interact with it, and God wisely models a Father's house with the people who come to a sanctuary. So this morning, your Father's house, your worship together, prayer together, intercession together, and the fellowship together makes Father's house for you. Did you understand that? So make this house as good as possible. Do you understand why continuity in one place is important? Why? Because practice makes it perfect. Good practice makes it good, better, and we are getting to the best. No Father's house on earth is perfect, but we are getting better. Will you again say to yourself, we are getting better. We are getting better. We are a work in progress. Commit your heart to build a Father's house in one place. Don't move from place to place. You'll miss the whole point. There's a perfect Father's house. In your trouble, and in the trouble your loved ones will have, trouble will increase or decrease now. The world is full of trouble, isn't it? Jesus said towards the nearness of His coming, offense will increase, deception will increase, and lusts will increase. Lust will increase so much, natural love will grow cold. So you understand sodomy and homosexualism when it is raging the world over. Jesus said so. Near my coming it will be like the times of Lot. Where did Lot live? Where did Lot live? Sodom. What was Sodom famous for? Sodomy. Jesus has said it. Offense will increase. Deception will increase. Iniquity will increase so much, love will become cold. But we have a Father's house to remind ourselves, not offense, forgiveness. How many of you are here for Hiranti's last Sunday message? Ministry of diffusing offense. Disappear.